Hey, so welcome to Piggy Power, and we're going to do a brief video now just about fuel saving. Now, the other video I've just released recently is about whether to put vegetable oil or not in your car. Pros and cons, the consequences, etc. That could be a way to save fuel. So could walking and cycling, of course. Very good things, especially when the weather's nice. But what could you do to save fuel? Well, it's pretty much the same as any other car, but I'll cover some for you. So in the 2-litre HDI 306, or any 306 for that matter, you could hypermile. So there's things to consider. Accelerating over a slightly longer period of time and gentler, but don't take forever to accelerate, because at some point you want to get to a good speed. You want to get to around 50 miles an hour if it's safe and legal to do so, and try and maintain that speed. So if you see something ahead that you need to slow down for, lift off the throttle nice and early, so you're not using fuel to get there and then braking. If you have to brake a lot, you're not saving fuel because you're continuing your speed up to that point you need to brake. So don't brake, or brake less. That saves on your brakes too. A big thing I see people do is they come to a hill, and on the downhill, knock it into neutral and just let the engine idle. Because, you know, I'm not using fuel then, am I? Or are you? You are using fuel. So what happens when you do that? Well, the engine idles. And for the engine to keep idling, keep running, it uses fuel. However, if you're driving along down a hill and the hill is enough to keep momentum going, and you lift off the throttle and keep your foot off the throttle, and your speed maintains down that hill, and you're in gear, your engine is not injecting fuel, diesel or petrol, depending on the spec and model and all the rest of the stuff. Yeah, depending on which one you've got. So, going downhill, lift off the throttle, but don't put it into neutral. Keep that in mind. Something else to do on long journeys, especially the motorway. I did this recently with some success. Tuck yourself in a big lorry. Now, you're going to be going slower. I worked out that I basically took 10 minutes every hour longer to drive at a much more economical pace. But I managed over 65 miles to the gallon in this 2-litre HDI, much more than the factory ever said it would do, by doing all the things I've just mentioned, easing off early, not braking, just using the vision ahead, looking far ahead, so I could just lift off the throttle. And if I've lifted off the throttle and I'm not in neutral, I'm in gear, then I'm not using any fuel whatsoever. I also was drafting, and that did mean I went slower. But for those 10 minutes extra per hour, so to do an hour's journey, it took me an hour and 10 minutes, I was much more relaxed. I was not in a rush like everyone else around me. I gained like 10 miles to the gallon on that journey, saved fuel, and if that's worth it to you, it was worth it to me. It was good. I was pleased with that. Just chilled out. Very nice. So here's another way to save fuel. Leave earlier. If you're always in a rush, you're always going to be driving in a manner that uses more fuel. Ultimately, in a rush going somewhere, you probably won't get there more than about a minute than the other person over about half an hour journey. It genuinely is like that. Unless it's the middle of the night, there's no traffic. Generally, day-to-day driving, if you try and just thrash it there and back, you're actually only probably going to gain a minute. So leave 5 minutes sooner for every journey, and I guarantee you'll save 5 miles per gallon. You'll gain them. I reckon you'll gain 5 miles per gallon if you left 5 minutes earlier for your journey. You won't be accelerating hard, you won't be braking hard, you won't be looking to overtake people, uses a huge amount of fuel. The biggest difference for a car's mileage is you, the flesh in the seat. Here's some mechanical advice. Jack up your car a corner at a time. Make sure the handbrake isn't applied and the wheels are chocked if necessary. Spin the wheel. If the brakes are binding ever so slightly, that uses more energy. So you can fix that. Service your brakes, make sure the wheels spin freely. While you're there, check your tyre pressures. A few PSI on each tyre, that again reduces your miles per gallon so much. You could also check your manufacturer's manual, and it might recommend different tyre pressures for different circumstances. So if you've got more weight in the car, you're doing a longer journey on a motorway, you change those. That helps your miles to the gallon. Some other things that are very simple to do. Lose weight yourself. The more weight you carry, the more fuel you use. So just something to think about. So you could drive naked. Saves weight. You could also remove all that junk in the boot you've got. You carry around for no reason. We all carry safety items, but we also carry lots of junk sometimes. So one other thing, keep your engine serviced. Make sure the oils, fluids, engine is serviced. The little bit of money you'll spend on that will increase the longevity of your engine and all the components, and will also increase your fuel mileage, miles to the gallon. Only be a small amount, but it makes a difference over a period of a year and 20,000 miles. So keep your engine serviced, keep your car happy, make sure your brakes and suspension are all good, tracking is good, that makes a big difference as well. It all makes a round-up difference to increase your miles to gallon and put more money in your pocket to, I don't know, buy a new pencil. My final suggestion for saving fuel is carry people in your car. Commute. You know, if you're going to somewhere, share your car with other people and they share their car with you, and you'll save money. That's just an idea. Get free lifts. So thanks for watching Piggy Power. There's a few ideas for you. I'll chop them up in some editing and hopefully make it something useful. I'm now at town and I'm going to get out and I'm going to... What am I going to do today? I don't know. Let's walk around the Cotswolds for a bit and then maybe go for a drive on the lovely country lanes now that I'm saving lots of fuel with all my top fuel saving tips. Thanks for watching Piggy Power. Goodbye.